be here. She's not going to be here.
What's the matter?
Oh, yeah, the proclamations.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what? I go tell him.
We'll give it a couple minutes and then.
Turn off your mic.
Prolong extended.
Right.
Take your time. Name everybody one by one.
I don't think so.
Oh, here you go.
Pat.
Yeah, that's Pat.
Hi. How are you? It's so nice to see you. I'm glad you're here again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the traffic is crazy. There's a lot of bridges out.
Is Joe and
so
motorcycles
congested traffic. And there was a line all the way out.
One.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Can I have them?
No.
And also, if I...
Except
Oh, thank you.
today.
What time?
Today. Early.
I didn't bring my glasses.
Okay, we'll say suddenly tonight. Okay.
Oh, no.
Correct. It's,
It'll be really bright down there.
So
It's bright down
that's
there.
yours,
You
right?
might have to hide. Okay.
no.
Well, when I go upstairs, come
proclamation.
on.
Okay, so
Okay.
you're ready.
Thank
Okay,
you.
no.
If I ever
Yeah, you're fine. You're good. That's open.
Jeez, now I'm gonna get blamed for something. I'm joking. Okay.
Sorry.
Everybody ready? At this time, I'll call to order the City of Joliet Council meeting for Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. In the absence of Mayor Terry Darcy, I will preside as Mayor Pro Tem. A couple of items prior to moving to the convocation. First, everyone gathered here, anybody watching, I would ask that we all have a moment of silence and a silent prayer. Councilwoman Sherry Reardon's mother, Betty Riley, passed away suddenly today, and that's why she's not here. So if we can do a moment of silence and a silent prayer, be appreciated. Thank you. Just two quick groups that we'll recognize. One group doesn't need to be pointed out to be recognized. Everybody can see them here, and they're very fluorescent. This is the first graduating class of our CERT program, which is Citizens Emergency Response Team. And we have, stand up, guys. Let them see you. Come on. We're going to have a presentation later that will go into detail exactly for those that may not be familiar with it, but I wanted to point out that they are here, all 18 of them, the first class. And then I also want to welcome a large group of young folks. They're taking a civics course with Pastor DeAndy Robinson, and I believe John Neighbors is helping them. John Neighbors is from Tomorrow Starts Today organization. Pastor DeAndy Robinson's church is New Beginning Christ Church of Faith Ministries. And the group at that church is giving something back, and they're taking a civics course, and they're here to observe local government. So welcome to the whole group of them. Okay. Today we'll start the meeting with an invocation. It'll be by Rabbi Steinberger Martinez. And I understand congratulations are ordered. You got married. Congratulations.
Oh, a while ago.
Okay. We just found out.
Thank you.
And the rabbi will give the invocation, after which she will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh,
Rabbi, it's all
all right.
yours.
All right. Thank you, guys. Join me as we bow our heads in prayer. Dearest God, thank you on behalf of all of the men and women gathered here today. Thank you for our many abundant blessings. We give thanks today for our city of Joliet and their staff for all the hard work they do for our city, and we ask that you would graciously grant them wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues of our time, a sense of the welfare and true needs of our people, a keen thirst for justice and rightness, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, and personal peace and health in their lives and the lives of their one, and joy in their tasks. We pray for the agenda set before them today. Please grant them the clarity of mind from your guidance to create those things that would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved Joliet. We say this with all the love in our heart. Join me together in declaring, Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And real quick, I was remiss, and the rabbi was from the Joliet Jewish congregation at 250 North Midland Avenue, right here in Joliet.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy is absent. He notified me he would not be in attendance. Councilman Cardenas.
Here.
Councilman Clement.
Here.
Councilman Hugg.
Here?
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Here.
Councilman Moreno.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Here.
And Councilwoman Reardon is absent. First, we have a presentation for first CERT program graduates.
Before we do that, I just have an announcement with a heavy heart that I share the tragic news of the passing of Sergeant Hollis Weller, a dedicated public servant, a respected leader within the Joliet Police Department, and a cherished member of our community. His loss is deeply felt not only by his family and fellow officers, but by all of us in the city of Joliet. For 20 years, Sergeant Weller served the city with honor and distinction. He was more than a police officer. He was a mentor, a role model, and a friend to many. His commitment to service and his impact on those around him will never be forgotten. At this time, I'd like to invite Joliet Police Chief Bill Evans to say a few words on behalf of the department.
Good evening, Council. Last night and tonight we delivered some tragic news to you regarding the death of one of our beloved JPD members. However, I wanted to make sure tonight's audience also had the opportunity to receive the very same information. Sergeant Hollis Weller was killed Friday morning in an automobile accident in Beecher, Illinois. Sergeant Weller was a 20-year veteran of the Joliet Police Department and was a valued and highly respected member of our department. Sergeant Weller leaves behind a wife and 3 children. This unexpected incident has impacted our agency tremendously. Sergeant Weller was very popular and well-liked among the rank and file, and several senior members of the department forged a very lasting, close friendship with him. I'd like to once again take this opportunity to specifically thank the mayor, the city manager, Joliet Fire Department, Will County Sheriff's Police, and the Shorewood, Beecher, and JJC Police Departments for constantly checking in with us, ready and willing to assist in any way they could. Also, I can't even begin to tell you how helpful Lieutenant Colonel Jason Bradley and Major Dave Keltner from the Illinois State Police have been. First, by assisting the Joliet Police Traffic Unit and escorting the procession back to Joliet, and then keeping in constant contact with us, offering words of encouragement, resources, and support. I would ask that you keep Hollis and his family in your thoughts and your prayers in the upcoming days. This will be very trying and emotional time for Hollis's wife, Kathleen, and their 3 children. Council, I'd like to take 1 minute in closing here to take a moment of silence in honor of Sergeant Hollis Weller. Thank you for your time.
We have a presentation for first CERT program graduates presented by John Lukanczyk. Don't, not yet, not yet.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Council, City Manager. We'd like to express our condolences to the Weller family as well as the members of the Joliet Police Department. We want to announce that we have completed our inaugural CERT program.
We're trying.
Behind me, you see 18 members of our 28-member group who went through approximately 27, sometimes more hours of training in order to get to where they are today. So I appreciate their time, I appreciate their efforts. All said and done, they put in over 750 volunteer hours just going through this program. So a little bit of background, just so everybody remembers what the CERT program is all about. It is basically an opportunity for members of the community to get together, work together as a team, and forge common objectives, goals, and to do things as one. We really stress community throughout this program. We really stress the working together and having a unified effort as we went through this program. So this program started in the 1980s after earthquakes in Mexico City and in Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles started the program in America through their fire department, and it was adopted by FEMA in the 1990s. There are over 3,000 CERT teams nationwide, including Joliet now. We are registered with FEMA, we're registered with the state, we are an official team as of now. Okay, so what we focused on during our training are our 4 core values, which include diversity, integrity, compassion, and respect. We are deeply in favor of these things, and all of us together have worked throughout this program to make sure we are showing these values to everyone we come in contact with. So I appreciate that from our members. So I want to tell you briefly a few things. I want to tell you about the program components, what we went through during this time. They had to listen to me for 9 weeks, so I really appreciate their patience with me. We'll introduce you to our graduates, and we'll talk about the next class, which we already have 15 people enrolled in, that starts in June. So it's catching on, and people seem to be liking this program, and we're going to keep building it until we get everybody in Joliet trained as disaster responders. So in terms of subject areas, we had about 10 main subject areas. The first one was disaster preparedness at home, at work, at school. We also taught them the incident command system so they could work within the parameters of our police and fire departments if we were ever at an incident. We did utility and fire control, where our members were able to put out actual fires during training, which was a lot of fun and a little bit stressful for some of our members. We learned also naloxone administration, so we could help those in the community who may overdose on opioids. They all became certified weather spotters, so we have 28 new certified weather spotters among us, which is a great thing. They practiced disaster medical operations, disaster mental health, and they all participated in light search and rescue and walkie-talkie training, which was a lot of fun too, so it was a learning process. They all did excellent. What I need to note about these folks is before this class even got halfway through, they were saying, we need some volunteering to do. Get us some stuff to do. So before we even graduated, we were in the community doing volunteer work, whether it was Kappa cleanup or what else did we do, Lachey? Downtown cleanup. So we were already volunteering before we even graduated. So that's the kind of folks that we're dealing with right now. You're dealing with folks who want to help, okay? Food pantry, that's right. So they want to help and they're working hard. So if you'll recall, we wanted to get participation in all of our council districts so that we could have teams available if something were to happen in a particular district where the other districts were unaffected, and we did that. You'll see that all 5 council districts are represented here, and I want to go through their names really quickly. District 1, Stephanie Hook. There we go. Katie Fixon, Jesus Najara, who could not be here, Carolina Schneider. In District 2, Chelsea Bowen. Okay. Tim Carlin, who could not be here, Maggie Colombono. I got it right. I got her name right. It only took me 9 weeks. Sue Fordyce, Brent Frazier, who could not be here, Anne Marie Grooms, it's right here. Bill McHugh, back here. Sister Mary Frances Seeley, and Sister Phyllis Wilhelm. In District 3, Jerry Brillen, right here on my left. Bob Horn, Patty Peterson, who could not be here. She's my sister, and she's going to hear it from me when I talk to her again. Councilwoman Sherry Reardon also was a member of our class. Our condolences go out to her as well. Bobby Shakespeare Jr. District 4, Don Siselski. How'd I do with that one? Perfect. All right. There's a couple of tough ones in here. Magdalena Campos and Flor Fuentes. And in District 5, another tough one, Detard Beyer, Lachey Hudson, that's an easy one. Clay Pape, Jim Richards, and Jay Ringo. Over here. So we also had 2 city employees, Gino Logalbo and Joe Nordman, who were part of the program as well, because they wanted to help out the community. So
Don't forget Ann and Katie. They're both city employees as well.
yeah, they are. I already mentioned them.
Okay.
Sorry. Yes, Anne Marie and Katie are also city employees. So yes, thank you, Ms. City Manager.
John, why doesn't it go the full 9 yards? So is Brent.
Yes, Brent Frazier is also, yes. And that's a really good point. We actually, members, people who work for the city care enough about the city to come out and volunteer. And township. Lachey is a member of the township, so. And Magdalene. All right, what else am I missing? If somebody shout out what I'm missing, whatever I'm missing.
Give her the mic, will you?
Yes, that's okay. They've helped me through this 9 weeks, and I appreciate it. So these are our 28 graduates up on the screen. 18 of them are here with us today, and I can't tell you how proud I am to be part of this group. Our next class is actually starting in June. June 10th is a Tuesday night. We're going to start a nighttime class. We're going to have a daytime class on Saturday starting June 14th. And we've talked to Joliet Township. They are going to have programs in the fall and spring at Joliet Township High School. So we're going to be working on both campuses throughout the fall and spring as well. So I'd like to thank all of you up here. You were very supportive in this. This is going to be a going concern here in the city. I say that we started out with 28 enrollees, and you know what? We finished up with a team, and I wound up with 28 new friends, and that's not easy for me to do. So I appreciate all of you. So if anybody has any questions or comments, I just would like to congratulate the first CERT team of the city of Joliet. Is there any way they could come up for a photograph?
Absolutely.
With you
Yeah.
folks?
We're going to have to take a picture from the back of the room, but that's okay.
Oh, boy. Glad we're elected.
John, you gotta get in. John. Come
Get
on.
in there.
Come on, John. Them or us? No, you never can.
Just stand on the chair.
Tippy toes.
I am on my tippy toes.
Hey, Jan, can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Hold on.
Are we done? We're good? Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, you doing?
What was his name? Pastor DeAndy?
DeAndre Robinson. Yeah, let's get him up here. He's right there.
Pastor DeAnde.
For the kids.
Yeah, let's do that.
Why don't you can you bring the class up? We'll get a picture just like we just did with the civics class too. That way they can prove that they were here and get the grade.
Oh, we're back. Thank you.
That was Joe's idea.
Oh, awesome. Great call, Joe.
How you doing?
Okay. Hi. 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 Hi, everybody. Congratulations.
Let's make a little opening. Let's make a little
Got to make an opening for Jan, so Jan can be seen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Don't worry about it. It happens all the time. I'm just short.
That's good. That's
and
good.
I have heels on.
There you go. Right there. Can you see Jan? Yeah, there you can see Jan. There you go,
see
Jan.
Juan? Can you see Juan?
right down here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I know exactly council for having us.
And I will say for Pastor Robinson's group, you picked the right meeting. This is a very short agenda. You won't be here all night.
Okay, under mayor, we have a proclamation for National Safe Boating Week.
Is there anybody here to accept this? Or? Okay. Thank you very much. You know, this is National Safe Boaters Week, and I think it's very important. You know, I like to bring people here that bring some substance and importance. And we're so gracious, thanks Sheriff Kelly from the Will County Sheriff's Office, to allow Eric Gabrielson to come here. Eric's a Will County Deputy, K-9 officer, and I'd like to have him just talk briefly about boater safety. He operates one of these boats. You know, obviously we have the Coast Guard, Will County Sheriff, Conservation, and it's very important. I mean, you don't think how important it is when you're out on a boat, safety, right? So I want to just have Gabe here talk briefly about a little bit of boater safety before I read the proclamation. So. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Deputy Gabrielson from the Will County Sheriff's Department. Been a member for 22 years. Member of the SWAT team that are their SWAT boat there. I'm in charge and team leader of our Marine Response Unit. What we do is all infrastructure checks along the riverways all the way through Will County and Grundy County. We're there to help. But our main enforcement is in case something really bad happens. As far as that goes, I've been a certified driver for USA Water Ski for over 30 years. So I've been around this, I've seen a lot of accidents. Number one thing for boater safety is having a certified Coast Guard approved life jacket. A lot of people will buy a generic or not name brand life jacket, and that will not save your life. So that's number one, having a certified Coast Guard approved life jacket. Number two is, just like with drinking and driving in these holidays, the number one, one of the number one reasons for accidents on the riverways and public lakes, private lakes, is alcohol. And then after alcohol is speed. So know your surroundings, no drinking and boating. Make sure that you have your proper fire extinguishers and you know your capacity of your boat. Every boat in the state of Illinois and all through the nation has a little seal somewhere in the boat that says the capacity of weight-wise, if set amount of pounds, say 1,000 pounds, or capacity of people. if you you have too many people or overdo the weight, you're going to have problems maneuvering the boat. But during these holidays and these months coming up, make sure you drive safe and slow.
Thank you. You have to. So here's a proclamation. Whereas National Safe Boating Week is observed to bring attention to important life-saving tips for recreational boaters so that they are a safer, more fun experience out on the water throughout the year. And whereas from coast to coast and everywhere in between, people are taking to the water and enjoying time together boating, sailing, paddling, fishing. And whereas during National Safe Boating Week, the U.S. Coast Guard and the National Safe Boating Council, along with federal, state, and local boating partners, encourage all boaters to explore and enjoy America's beautiful waters responsibly. And whereas safe boating begins with preparation, the Coast Guard estimates that human error accounts for most boating accidents, and that the life jackets could prevent nearly 75% of boating fatalities. And whereas on an average 650 people die each year in boating related accidents in the US, 75% of these fatalities are caused by drowning. And whereas the vast majority of these accidents are caused by human error and poor judgment, and not by the boat, equipment, or environmental factors. And whereas a significant number of boaters who lose their lives by drowning each year would be alive today if they would have worn a life jacket. Now therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of the City of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, proclaim May 17th through the 24th, 2025 as National Safe Boating Week and the start of this year-round effort to promote safe boating. Signed May 20th, 2025 by our Honorable Mayor, Terry Darcy. Thank you.
Next is a proclamation for Proactive Mental Health Awareness Month.
Whereas the Proactive Mental Health Awareness Proclamation was created to raise the visibility of mental health education and resources in our community and to destigmatize it and help connect people with proper support services. And whereas according to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, 54% of Americans have been affected by suicide in some way. Of the people they surveyed, 55% said that they are embarrassed and don't know where to get help. 67% of those same individuals felt that the education can help in proactive prevention. And whereas 2 in 3 people surveyed by the AFSP said COVID has made them more empathetic. It has also made half of the individuals more open to talking about their mental health. Overall, 81% of those surveyed said that now is the critical time to have these conversations and to make suicide prevention a priority. Whereas the City of Joliet publicly places its full support behind those who work in the field of mental health, education, and law enforcement, and whereas global organizations like Hope for the Day and local mental health partners serve on the front lines of the war that is still surrounded by stigma. And whereas we encourage all residents to take the time and understand mental health through education and recognize that we need to take care of ourselves while we take care of others. Now, therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of the City of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, proclaim May as Mental Health Awareness Month, signed May 20th, 2025 by Terry Darcy. And me and Bev have done this for the 2nd year in a row. Would you like to say anything? Yes. Congratulations, and thank you so much.
I just wanted to say a few words. I know a lot of us are going through some hard times right now. The world is wild. We lost a few members of the Joliet community and some PD members. I just want you all to know it's okay not to be okay. There are resources available. Grief is hard. Loss is hard. So if you need anything, I did give Susanna some resources, both in English and Spanish. So if you need anything, whether it's mental health help, child care, dentists, legal aid, housing help, any social service really, there is a QR code that leads to our resource compass. Just plug in your zip code, completely vetted, insured, uninsured, free to sliding scale. Anything completely at your fingertips. So please take advantage of that. I'm sure all your local officials can get you in touch with those resources. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Susanna has all my contact info. But most importantly, it's okay not to be okay. It's wrapping up Mental Health Awareness Month, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel and you aren't alone. So thanks again. You guys are awesome, and thanks for having this conversation for the second year in a row, and I look forward to continuing it with you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
The next proclamation is recognizing May as Motorcycle Awareness Month.
Proclamation. Whereas safety is the highest priority for the highways and streets of our city and state, and the great state of Illinois is proud to be a national leader in motorcycle safety, education, and awareness. And whereas motorcycles are primary, common, and economical means of transportation that reduces fuel consumption and road wear and contributes in a significant way to the relief of traffic and parking congestion. And whereas it is especially meaningful that the citizens of our city and state be aware of motorcycles and roadways and recognize the importance of motorcycle safety. And whereas the members of ABATE of Illinois, Inc., meaning a brotherhood aimed toward education, continually promotes motorcycle safety, education, and awareness in high school drivers' education programs and to the public in our city and state, and presenting motorcycle awareness programs to over 120,000 participants in Illinois over the past 9 years. And whereas all motorcyclists are encouraged to join ABATE of Illinois, Inc. in actively promoting the safe operation of motorcycles, as well as promoting motorcycle safety, education, awareness, and respect to the citizens of our city and state. And the motorcyclists of Illinois have contributed extensively volunteerism and money to national and community charitable organizations. And whereas during the month of May, all roadway users should unite in the sharing of roadways within the city of Joliet and throughout the great state of Illinois. Now, therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of the city of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council in the great state of Illinois, in recognition of 38 years of ABATE of Illinois, recognize May as Motorcycle Awareness Month. Signed, May 20th, 2025, Terry Darcy, Mayor.
I just want to thank everybody for that. We do appreciate it. We have a lot of people who do get killed on motorcycles based on people on their phones, eating, whatever, distracted driving. So we really appreciate it being made a big deal, at least in May. We like it to be all year long, but we at least get a month. So we appreciate that. Thank you.
I know, we'll get her after these guys.
You wear different vests.
Yeah, she's still. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Better wait than
Come on,
that,
Bev.
Good to see you.
I think that's good.
Why doesn't she come up here with us?
Is that your mom? Why doesn't your mom come up here?
Come on up here.
Oh, yeah.
You want to come up here? Okay. Come on up here, then you can be in the group.
To her, so she can take it.
It's a small group.
There we go. Jan doesn't want to be hidden again?
I was wide open, that's why I'm trying to cover. Oh, it's very soft. You can pet me. Oh, no, thank you.
Yeah, right?
Thank you. Oh, we're not done yet?
Oh, one more. It's the mom. Mom's important. Important.
Awesome, thank you.
Dad's phone?
Now the rest of the.
Are we done?
We're good.
We have appointments.
Next is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to speak on agenda items? Is anyone who would like to speak on an agenda item?
Hi, good evening, members of the council. Welcome to Councilman Juan Moreno. Haven't seen you since the election. My name is Tanya Arias. I am the president of the Collins Street Neighborhood Council. I'm here to talk about agenda item, the 323-25, which is a resolution requesting the closure of State Route 171 for the 2025 Mexican Independence Day Parade. So obviously the Collins Street Neighborhood Council is in full support of this resolution. The Mexican Independence Day Parade has historically been down Collins Street neighborhood for over 60 years. It was established by Mr. Navor Rodriguez and his family, and it has brought so much historical context to that neighborhood, which is a very diverse neighborhood. We definitely have seen the blooming consequences of this parade. It brings in the neighborhood together, it brings neighborhoods together, it forms a bridge between the community, and it also serves as an economic boost to the neighborhood, because it allows a lot of residents and a lot of visitors who are coming down to watch this parade to actually shop and stay in Joliet, especially in the Collins Street and Cass Street business corridors. So we definitely are in full support of this resolution, and we definitely want to make sure that it comes back to the neighborhood because it has served as a historical parade over the years. We also see that not only does it bring more of the historical context, it also shows our younger generation the history behind the Mexican Independence Day Parade and gives them a reason kind of to celebrate and enjoy the festivities. So we do urge the council to please make sure that you do approve this resolution. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on an agenda item? Okay, seeing none. Next are appointments. The mayor is recommending Felipe Gloria be appointed to the Joliet Historic Preservation Commission, replacing Mary Beth Gannon. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, the mayor is recommending Deborah Voling be appointed to the Joliet Arts Commission. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
It's been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, the mayor is recommending John Stefanski be reappointed to the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been motion and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, the mayor is recommending Quinn Adamowski, Kevin Heineman, Candace Johnson, Kaylee Lowry, and Sharon Merwin be reappointed to the Joliet Historic Preservation Commission. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, the mayor is recommending Bridget Rohr, Jason Cox, and John Kella be reappointed to the Plan Commission.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, the mayor is recommending Bridget Rohr be appointed to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, the mayor is recommending Kim Fonte, Rita Renwick, Betsy Satcher, Mary Schnoenheiter, and Jim Teston be reappointed to the Tree Advisory Board. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, the mayor is recommending Donnie Chestnut, Kathy Trisna, Jeff Pearson, and Tim Broderick be reappointed to the Will County Metropolitan Exposition and Auditorium Authority. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, we have council committee reports. First, we'll have Communication, Technology, and Information Systems.
We had a Communications, Technology, and Information System Committee met in the Executive Conference Room on Wednesday, May 7th at 8:30 a.m. In attendance was Chairwoman Reardon, Councilman Moreno, and myself. It was a pretty quick and easy meeting. We had 2 agenda items. One was for the award of contract to Granicus for the annual products and services renewal and upfront implementation costs in the amount of $583,225.73 to be paid over the 3 years. That's basically like what we use for our meetings and software and everything for the city. And then the next item we had was the agenda item 8541, award of contract to Heartland Business Systems for VMware annual renewal in the amount of $59,730.88. The city uses VM software to manage over 80 virtual servers, optimizing hardware usage and reducing our costs. Both basic housekeeping type items that are up for renewal. Both items were voted unanimously to come to the full council for approval with our support. Councilman Rowe, did I miss anything? Or you want to add anything?
Got it perfect.
Thank you. That'd be my report, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Finance.
Finance Committee met here at 5:30. On the committee is Councilman Larry Hug and myself. Councilman Reardon was not able to attend. A couple of very important items. A new insurance broker for property casualty and workman's comp and liability insurance has been approved. Alliant Insurance Services will serve as the broker for the next year. The insurance will start on August 1st. Also was a presentation from Spear Financial. Anthony, who has been one of our advisors for some time with Spear, provided us with information in regards to a revenue bond not to exceed $145 million. Joliet's cost associated with the design of the Grand Prairie water system. This will be used for improvements in our water system to accept Lake Michigan water, such as water towers and pumping station, and then water main replacements, which I think everyone has seen enough of, but will continue for a few more years until we get everything replaced. Finance Chair Kevin Singh gave the monthly financial statements. Revenues are under all funds, general, sewer, water, and parking are all trending in accordance with the budget. The museum's quarterly report was available. Total admissions for the quarter were 4,114 for the last 3 months, including visitors from at least 9 countries and 12 states. State and federal grant funds are being used to work on the prison at this time. Also was reported on the travel expenses that were all well in line with acceptance. Harry?
Yeah, I think that was it. I would clarify that 145 million is quite a big number. That the majority of that is the alternative water switch over to Chicago water. There's some sewer in there and some standard maintenance. And that actually diligently our staff and our consultant, financial consultant, is working to see to put as much debt as we can in this project into state and federal loans, which are lower interest instead of bonds. I just wanted to point that out, Chairman.
That's our report.
Okay. Next, we have public service.
Public service met yesterday here in the council chambers at 4:30 in the afternoon. In attendance with myself and Councilman Mudrin. Councilwoman Reardon was unable to attend. It was a short agenda. We had 6 minor contracts. Actually, we didn't have any contract over 163,000. That's still a big number for our personal accounts, but for the city, that's good news. And it was pretty standard kind of restocking of stuff and repairing of stuff. While we looked at a roughly $41,600 contract to buy necessary equipment to replace school zone flashing lights, 28 of them around the city that have reached their end of use life. We discussed it yesterday. We looked at a professional services agreement with Willett Hoffman and Associates for about just under $39,000 for the Spring Creek project, the bridge over Spring Creek. That's we had to do that because the state, at the end of a 10-year, this is an ongoing program, and the state requires that when you get to 10 years, you can't extend contracts. You have to redo the contract. So that's all that was. It was housekeeping. Again, we looked at all of them, and none of them. We looked at $122,000 for a John Deere mower assembly. One of our mowers that does kind of the commercial mowing of the city properties, parkways, whatever, what have you. No longer is it, I think it was it was 30-some years old. I think that's pretty much everything we looked at on that. Let me see, there was one item I thought maybe. No, then we had 3 change orders, pay estimates, and final payments. We reviewed those and found them to be in order, as well as the ordinance and resolutions, which traditionally are housekeeping, allowing us to pay for whatever we approve before we go to ordinance and resolutions. And we looked at those 3 items, and all of the items were vetted by myself and the Councilman Mudrin, found to be in order. And I unanimously approved for recommendation to the full council that we approve it here as well. Did I get everything, Pat?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's the report.
Okay. I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, invoices to be paid. It is recommended this report be approved. Council memo number 304-25, Award of contract to Heartland Business Systems for VMware annual renewal in the amount of $59,730.88. Council Memo Number 304-25, award of contract to Granicus for annual products and services renewal and upfront implementation costs in the amount of $583,225.73 to be paid over 3 years. Council Memo Number 306-25, award of contract for the 2025 School Zone Flasher Materials Purchase Order Number 1 to Mobile Trucks Incorporated in the amount of $41,597. Council Memo Number 307-25, award of contract for insurance brokerage services for general liability, workers' compensation, and property and casual coverage to Alliant Insurance Services in the amount of $40,500. Council Memo Number 308-25, award of professional services agreement for Phase 1 engineering services for the Abe Street Bridge over Spring Creek Improvement Project to Willett Hoffman and Associates in the amount of $38,782. Council Memo Number 309-25, approval of Amendment Number 3 for Phase 1 engineering services for the Abe Street Bridge over Spring Creek Improvement Project to Willett Hoffman and Associates, a deduction in the amount of $14,035.08, and payment request number 26 and final in the amount of $6,335.45. Council Memo Number 310-25, approval of purchase of water metering equipment from Core and Main LP in the amount of $42,300. Council Memo Number 311-25, approval of purchase of 2 24-inch Dezurik check valves from LAI and Associates Incorporated in the amount of $36,300. Council Memo Number 312-25, approval of purchase of a John Deere mower assembly from Shorewood Home and Auto in the amount of $122,644.38. Council Memo Number 313-25, approval of purchase and installation of 3 one-ton dump bodies from Henderson Products Incorporated in the amount of $162,424. Council Memo Number 314-25, approval of change order number 1 for the 2024 sidewalk curb replacement project Central Joliet on behalf of Deconstruction Incorporated for adjustments to the project completion date. Council Memo Number 315-25, approval of change order number 2 for the 2024 sidewalk curb replacement project Far West Joliet on behalf of Deconstruction Incorporated for adjustments to the project completion date. It is recommended Council Memos 304-25 through 315-25 be approved. Is there a motion to approve all said consent agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hugg?
Aye. Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under ordinances, Council Memo Number 317-25, ordinance approving a variation of use to allow a wholesale business, a B3 general business use in the B1 Neighborhood Business Zoning District located at 470 South Hames Avenue. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hugg?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 318-25, ordinance approving a special use permit to allow a cellular communications tower and associated ground equipment located at 2500 Brandon Road. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hugg?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolutions. Council Memo Number 320-25, resolution accepting a grant of permanent easement on Southeastern Avenue for the Heggie Park Phase 1 Water Main Improvements Project. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hugg?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 321-25, resolution appropriating supplemental motor fuel tax funds for the Phase 1 engineering services for the Abe Street Bridge over Spring Creek Improvement Project. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 322-25, resolution to approve and authorize the acceptance of the Will County Community Mental Health Board 2025 grant funding award to fund the Community Mental Health Program in the amount of $200,000. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 323-25, resolution requesting the closure of State Route 171 for the 2025 Mexican Independence Day Parade. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So move.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager's report.
Thanks. So tonight I'm going to start with a downtown construction update, and then we'll talk about the bridges, which we've all been talking about quite a bit the last few days. Downtown construction work continues in the downtown area with several key improvements underway. Last week's progress includes soil cell installation is now complete south of Clinton Street in the Chicago Street corridor. Electrical work progressed along Chicago Street and within the city square. Masonry work began on the main stage structure, and ComEd continued reconstruction of the underground vault between Clinton and Cass Streets. Work scheduled for the week of May 19th, which is this week that we're in. Soil cells will be installed on the east half of the block north of Clinton. The asphalt paving on Chicago Street between Cass and Webster will be finished soon. Expect lane closures while the work is happening. Electrical installations will continue within city square boundaries. ComEd is scheduled to complete concrete work on the reconstructed underground vault. Masonry work on the main stage is expected to be finished. Foundation excavation will continue for various city square elements. We appreciate the residents' continued patience and cooperation as improvements move forward. Bridge closure. We have received a lot of feedback regarding the closure of the Jefferson Street movable bridge. I want to remind residents that the bridge is owned and maintained by the Illinois Department of Transportation, not the City of Joliet. The drawbridge was shut down on Wednesday due to an electrical short that disabled one of the two motors responsible for raising and lowering the bridge. We spoke to IDOT this morning, and I want to defer to our Director of Public Works for the full update.
Yeah, excuse me. So we did have a call today with representatives from IDOT, their consultant and contractors. There was a rather lengthy discussion on how to proceed forward to get the bridge opened as quickly as possible. The current timing they're saying is likely 6 to 8 weeks of repair work. There was an electrical cabinet and a motor that shorted out. Now they did discuss other options to potentially open it sooner. There's talk of getting a drive system from elsewhere, installing it, but these are complex structures. It's not as simple as just installing something in there and letting it rip. They're very carefully balanced, so there was discussion on, if they went up and failed with one motor, they would be stuck in that position, and that would restrict both vehicular and river traffic. There was a very lengthy discussion on all these items. But again, the current expected closure is 6 to 8 weeks. There was also discussion on the raising and lowering of the bridges. So the bridges are raised and lowered based on signals from river traffic, with the exception of 2 periods of time, 7:30 in the morning to 8:30 in the morning during rush hour, and then 4:15 to 5:15 p.m. in the afternoon. Those restrictions are regulated by the U.S. Coast Guard, and it is part of federal regulations that the bridge is not to be operated or raised during those hours to allow vehicles to cross. The city requested of IDOT to have a discussion with the Coast Guard, and they were already entering those discussions about potentially extending those hours for the short term to allow more vehicles to get across the bridge. So that's a general update, but again, it was a lengthy, detailed discussion on a lot of technical items.
So I just want to reiterate for all the residents and the council, so I know you're all getting a ton of calls about this as well, that per federal law, the Coast Guard, through the Coast Guard, the bridges are not raised between 7:30 and 8:30 in the morning and 4:15 to 5:15 in the evening. So that's the time to try to get across the bridge. And like Greg said, we are working with IDOT to try to convince the Coast Guard to extend these hours, while especially we're under so much construction with I-80 and other bridges, et cetera. You know, we're trying to make downtown better and get people downtown, and that doesn't help when these things are happening. So we're on top of it and working on trying to extend those hours. On behalf of the mayor and the city administration, we wish all of you a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. That concludes my report.
Okay, next is public comments. Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening? This is just general public comment. Anyone would like to address the council?
Hello, council members. My name is Diane Matter, and I live at 1316 New Lenox Road. I'd like to start out by thanking Susie Ibert for taking the time to come out and look at the situation we're facing with this proposed Love's Truck Stop in our residential area. We appreciate her willingness to listen and understand our concerns. The proposed truck stop is being built a mere 30 feet from residential properties. I invite council members and committee members to come and see the situation for themselves. Witness firsthand the proximity of the truck stops to our homes. When you made this decision, did you consider the impact that it would have on our daily lives and our property values? Did you consider the well-being and safety of our community? Did you think about the noise pollution and traffic that will disrupt our daily lives? Did you take into account the federal and Will County land use guides that advise against such developments in residential areas? Or did you listen to someone that was not educated or did not care about the facts that this truck stop would have on residents because of corporate greed? It's clear that the decision goes against these guidelines. Can you explain why you chose to disregard these established regulations? Furthermore, I understand that Love's was offered a significant tax abatement and corporate welfare incentives to bring this project to our community. Can you justify why our tax dollars and resources should be used to benefit a large corporation and put the burden of taxpayers' backs? I have to wonder, if this proposed truck stop was to be built 30 feet from your own homes, would you have supported it? Would you want to live with the noise, pollution, and traffic that comes with it? Why are we being subjected to this? What is the justification for putting our community's health and safety at risk? After one person on council mentioned that they thought we all got taken care of, can you clarify what that means? We're concerned about potential impacts on our community and want to know how you'll take care of us and mitigate any negative effects. When you say taken care of, we want to know what that means for us. Is it the increased fear, crime, light pollution, sex trafficking, soil contamination, water contamination, loud noise, light pollution, prostitution, and drug use? That's all that we've all seen associated with these such developments. No, we deserve better. We demand that you take action to really take care of us the way that you would want to be taken care of if this mess was at your front door. We propose the following solutions to address these concerns. Double berms to mitigate noise and light pollution. Concrete 13 feet fence to provide an additional layer of protection and security. Enhanced lighting controls to minimize light spillage onto residential properties and adhere to local ordinance regarding light pollution. Noise reduction measures to minimize disturbances caused by truck traffic and comply with local noise pollution ordinances, including restrictions on decibel levels and hours of operation. Spill containment and runoff protection to protect our groundwater and wells from potential contamination using measures such as secondary containment, leak detection systems, and regular inspections. police protection to ensure public safety and prevent potential issues. Tire Center hours of operation to minimize noise and disruption. We propose that the Tire Center be closed by 10 p.m. and adhere to local noise ordinances. We urge you to consider these solutions and work with us to find a balance between economic development and community safety, environmental protection, and resident well-being. Can you answer these questions and provide clarity on the following? Why was this project approved despite it going against land use guidelines? What is the justification for offering Loves a tax abatement and corporate welfare incentives? How will you take care of us and mitigate the potential of this negative effects on this project? We deserve answers and transparency. Our community's future is at stake. Thank you very much for your time.
Is there anyone else who would like?
You know me, hey, I just gotta go on with her what she's saying, because like I said, I am a perfect example of what happens when development takes your life away from you. And do you think I'm still happy? You think I'm happy and my life's improved any? Yeah, I can tell you it sure hasn't. Every day I struggle. And more and more, and it's like, it's getting harder and harder just to feel my need to even be alive anymore. I can't keep on doing this because of my stress on my heart, my body just cannot keep taking it. You guys need to think of when you do these decisions of how you affect people's lives. It's not fair to us that we have to put up with it and we have to suffer the consequences. It's not fair. Nobody should have to be going through this. And as far as your mental stress and everything, I try to find answers. I'm trying to find, well, what can I do to keep alive? What can I do to stay alive and keep living and keep my mental stress down? And it's just so hard. Susan, how do I do without you? Middle of the night, I could call you and text you and thank God you're there for me, because if you weren't there for me the other night, I don't know what I'd do. But we gotta stop putting profits over people's lives here. Stop bowing to the businesses and giving them what they want. We gotta give the residents what they want. We want to have our lives and keep our lives and keep our happiness and everything. As life is too precious. We need to start conserving people's lives here. Sherry, I'm so sorry to hear about your mother. My father just died recently too, so I am right there with you. And with the Weller family and the police force, everybody. As we remember these people that just died in our lives and try to prevent more deaths from happening. So please, I just beg of you, value people's lives, please. Thank you.
Good evening, Pro Tem Hug and members of the City Council. First, I'd like to express me and my husband's sincere condolences to Councilwoman Reardon's passing of her mother. My name is Carol Goolsby, and I am a homeowner at 2823 Richmond Street in Joliet. I am writing to express a serious concern that is affecting the safety, zoning compliance, and overall quality of life in our cul-de-sac community. When we purchased our home in 2020, the emergency exit at the end of our street was properly designated for emergency use only. It was secured with barricades and a locked chain, and we were assured this configuration was consistent with city zoning and safety codes. In recent months, however, the exit has been opened and is now used by non-emergency traffic on a daily basis. Drivers are using this route to bypass congestion on Route 52, aka Jefferson, effectively turning our quiet cul-de-sac into a cut-through street. This is placing an unfair and unsustainable burden on our neighborhood. In addition to the hardship this causes, I want to note the following concerns. The width of the emergency exit is not compliant with city code for regular through traffic. The increased traffic volume creates hazard for residents, children, and pedestrians. This change in usage appears to be a violation of existing zoning regulations. We have made multiple attempts to address this appropriately. We have reached out to the City of Joliet Zoning Commission, including Ms. Sherry Reardon, who we have not been able to connect with other than having phone tag and text messages back and forth due to our working hours. We have also reached out to the mayor's office via both phone and email, but have received no response to date. Furthermore, we have attempted to communicate with AMG Management, who oversees the condominiums that operated the chained off area. We were laughed at, misled, and dismissed, and lied to. Even more disturbingly, an AMG employee entered our property and made physical and bodily threats of harm to me personally. And he had returned back to my home later on that same morning to continue making threats to me personally. I did file a police report with the Joliet Police Department regarding that threat. The situation has now escalated from a zoning and traffic issue to one of public safety and resident protection. We are respectfully requesting that the city investigate whether the current use of this exit is in compliance with city zoning and safety regulations, reinstate the barrier and restore this exit to its original emergency-only use, and provide us with a formal response outlining next steps and accountability. We are proud to live in Joliet and want to continue being active members of a safe and respectful community. We are asking the city to step in and ensure that the rules are followed and that the residents are protected. Thank you so much for your time and your attention.
Beth,
Yes.
who would she talk to?
You can absolutely bring the concern to me, and my Director of Public Works will address it.
Can I give you my?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to take it.
Thank you, Beth.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
My name is Christopher Knight. We read Legacy of Compassion, and actually, Sam, we've been getting a lot of complaints, really. Well, there's nothing I can do about it, but I said I would ask about it. Is there going to be, during the heightened time of traffic, like law enforcement present where they control the flow of traffic during these hours, like school time in the morning, and like at 5 o'clock at night when people's getting off work at 3 o'clock when school is letting out, so we can control the flow of this, because it's going to be a lot of heightened, it's getting hot. And make it plain, is people going to be upset. So I'm just wondering, it's just a question, that is there anything in the works, plans for this, because it's going to be heightened, especially when schools is letting out. I'm asking for it, high traffic areas. Can we get police, traffic control there? Is there any plans in the works for them to come up and help us with this flow of traffic? We can't go nowhere. It takes a half an hour to get from one side of the city to the next side of the city. So I'm just asking, is there any things in the works? Or is there any plans in the works for the public?
Beth?
The chief and I can speak to you offline about that.
Okay, thank you.
And I do believe, Beth and Chief, I experienced it yesterday. I forgot about the bridge being up. Myself and Pat, we both did. I took Bridge Street, and there was police presence at about 5 o'clock, or 4:30, directing traffic. So we are addressing the bridge closure, but if there's more that he wants to talk to you about, he certainly can talk to you after the meeting, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what I asked, so I can still.
Hello, Amy Sanchez, President of Joliet. 4 minutes is a long time. I just want to say I came in late, but it was amazing to see all you young folks here engaging in your civic duty. And I definitely want to give City of Joliet a shout out for spoiling me rotten when it comes to navigating your website, because I just left the county board meeting. And respectfully, I'm letting my district representatives know it is crazy to get access to any application packets or anything like that, and I told them Joliet isn't this difficult to navigate on your website. So kudos to the city.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. I don't compliment often, so.
That's all right, we don't often get compliments.
That's true. Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening? Okay, seeing none, we're at mayor and council comments.
We start with Councilman Quillman. You want to go first?
Sure. First of all, I would like to say we need to support our nurses at St. Joe's. There's another issue going on over there. And if anyone is available tomorrow night from 6 to 8:30, they're having a Joliet Community Town Hall at the Joliet Public Library on Black Road. And it's being put on, hosted by the nurses of St. Joe's Hospital. They would love to see you out there, and they'll have some speakers there. The nurses, Jessica Wembley, Chief of Staff for this, for the hospital, Senator Rachel Ventura, and our own City Councilman Suzanne Abera. But as a nurse, we have to continue to support not only our nurses, but our hospital too. We are a big city. I know we're not number 3 anymore, but we still need 2 hospitals. So if you can make it and voice your opinion and support not only the nurses but the hospital as well, that would be wonderful. Again, 6 to 8:30 tomorrow at the Black Road Library. And last but not least, but very important and dear to me, is I'd like to wish my husband 45 years happy anniversary this coming Saturday. He is my rock and my love. And I couldn't do what I do without him. He's always been encouraging to me. And Tom, I know you're watching. I love you. Thank you.
I'd just like to offer my condolences to Sherry and her family in the passing of her mother today.
I would like to offer my condolences as well to Sherry Reardon, Councilwoman Sherry Reardon, and John. Great work with the CERT team. Thank you. That's it.
So this is going to be hard for me, but I don't want to miss this opportunity to honor Sergeant Hollis Weller. You might wonder what a brand new councilwoman has in common with a traffic sergeant. But I was at a Will Grundy Building Trades annual dinner, and I was sitting at a table with a bunch of police. And they happened to say that they heard some of the first few council meetings where I talked a lot about traffic. And so we became friends. I became friends with the traffic division. They came to my town hall. Hollis Weller was at my town hall along with Rich Steiger, answering questions for District 5 about traffic. Always at the ready for questions that I have. In fact, I just called one of them on Friday. They're just amazing, amazing officers and have given me so much help in District 5. And with that being said, when you help me in District 5, you are helping every single resident in District 5. So it was very hard to hear of his passing, and my condolences go to the whole department and his family. He was definitely one of a kind and an amazing traffic officer. So if we can just have one more moment of silence, that would be great. Thank you. Thank you.
Caesar?
Yeah, just condolences to the Sergeant Weller's family, and the Joliet Police Department. Also condolences to Councilwoman Reardon and her family, and just everyone. Just have a safe Memorial Holiday weekend, and just be safe out there and enjoy your time with your family. Yeah.
Beth, since we're doing this comprehensive plan, I'd like to see if we can put in there some sort of alternate route over the bridge. I know it would be a big ticket item, but maybe there's something we can do. I'm not sure we can do it alone. Probably gonna need some assistance, but I think it's time that we come up with a different plan. These bridges are constantly obstructing and hurting the residents and the businesses downtown. I'm not sure what the answer is. Maybe we can reach out to the residents, see what they think we need to do, but we have to start a plan. And it may be a few years down the road, but at least, if this comprehensive plan is going, maybe we could put it in there and come up with some sort of idea. So And then again, my condolences to the Riley and Reardon family and to the Weller family and to all my brothers and sisters at the Joliet Police Department. I'm so sorry for your loss, and Chief Evans, thanks for everything, and we're feeling the pain too, so, yeah.
First, I just wanted to focus on and thank this fine group of young folks that came here tonight with your civics class. Thank you for being engaged. You are the future. Someday, some or all of you will be up here. And I just give a brief explanation. A lot didn't happen tonight, short meeting, like I pointed out earlier. We're a council manager form of government, which means the council and the mayor set the standards or the procedures and by vote and the ordinances, and then the city manager takes that and manages that day to day. And so prior to our meeting, most cities, our council manager, if they're not, they're aldermanic, and most of them have what we have. We call it the pre-council meeting the day before the council meeting. Other communities call it the workshop meeting, which is the day before their council or village board meeting. That's when you see a lot of discussion. So in the future, if you wanted to see, you have an issue here in Joliet that you're interested in, you're going to see a lot of the discussion happens on Monday, the day before the meeting. So I just didn't want you to think because there was really no discussion on the items that we just rubber stamp it. That's not how it works. We met yesterday at the pre-council meeting, and discussions, questions from ourselves, questions from the public were considered and answered by staff, by Beth Beatty, the city manager, and her staff. So that's how it works here. So in the future, if you want to come and you want to see something a little bit more engaged, come on a pre-council meeting, which is the Monday before the Tuesday council meeting. And again, thank you for showing up and coming here and showing this interest, and thank you, Pastor, for providing this opportunity to these young folks.
Thank you all for having us.
Thank you.
Let's give them a hand of applause.
Yes. Happy anniversary to you and Tom, Jan.
Thank you.
45th?
Yep.
You and Tom got married when you were 7?
Yep, May 24th.
I too wanted to offer my condolences and prayers, as we all should, to Hollis Weller's family. Again, Chief, as everybody has said up here, we all feel it, and we know how much you guys feel it, and certainly Officer Weller's family. So our condolences, and certainly we'll keep them in the prayers. Same thing with Councilwoman Reardon, Sherry Reardon, to the Reardon family and to the Riley family on the sudden loss of her mom today, Betty Riley. Again, thoughts and prayers go out to them from all of us. And other than that, we have Memorial Day coming up. Certainly that means barbecues and day off work and all this nice stuff. But let's really focus for more than just a moment on Memorial Day, why we are celebrating Memorial Day. That's for the men and women that have died in service, military service, to this country of ours, protecting our democracy or possibly protecting another democracy, but serving our country, giving the ultimate sacrifice, which we can never pay back to them and their families, but we can say thank you and keep them in our thoughts and prayers as well. That's all I have.
Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.